I should imagine, relevant, important, and something we need to apply our minds to. And that, of course, is suicide. It is Suicide Awareness, Prevention Awareness Month, and we'll be talking to Lino Muller. He is with Safe Talk South Africa. He is, in fact, the founder and CEO of Safe Talk. It's a leading nonprofit organization focused on suicide prevention and mental health awareness in South Africa. He's also a certified facilitator, assessor, and performance coach with a background in mental health training, sport coaching, and strategic PR and business communication. What else are you still going to apply your mind and your efforts to, Lino? Those are huge, huge, huge achievements. It gives me great pleasure to be interacting with you this morning. A very good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, no, this gets 100% of my attention right now.
Awesome, awesome. And it's wonderful to see that there are people out there wanting to make a difference and taking an issue like mental health seriously, because undoubtedly there is still not only mental health as a whole, but even suicide. There's still so much of stigma. And I think for families who loses a loved one through suicide, they kind of live with that stigma, I guess, for the rest of their lives. I think they're also judged by society, questioning if the family had in fact done enough to have prevented the suicide.
Yes, that's true. There's a lot of shame that goes on in a death by suicide within a family, and mostly because of stigma. Because, like you correctly said, it's a lot of speculation on did the family, you know. Let's put it this way: there's a lot of accusation around it. So other people in the community and neighbors often say, "Yeah, they must have had an abusive father, or they had a very bad mother, or what did they do that made them want to take their own lives?" Um, that's part of the stigma, and then there's the shameful part of the stigma, also feeling guilty about, what could we as a family have done? Why didn't we spot the signs? And it's not as easy as that, and we need to have less judgment around these things, and we need to talk and teach people the facts about suicide to get rid of that stigma, because who would want to you know the bereavement of it makes it so much more difficult with such judgments around the act.
So, can you personally, well, let me ask the question. Can you share what Suicide Prevention Awareness Month means to you personally and professionally?
Sure. So I mean, I had my brother took his life many years ago, and we also had the stigma driven attitudes of, oh, he was weak, and if he wanted to die, that was his choice, and we sort of didn't take any responsibility around it, or not really that we were responsible for his death or wanting to take his life. But it just highlighted how difficult it was. So when there is a month like this, where we can highlight and teach and educate people to not have the same attitudes, um, that's very important. So our workshops that Safe Talk does is basically teaching people that we're all responsible for one another, that it's not just up to psychologists and psychiatrists, that we are all responsible to learning the truth behind someone who's vulnerable, and how to talk to them, and how to spot signs.
I'm really sorry for your loss. And I'm kind of wondering, was that loss what drove you to the space that you're in today, trying to create awareness around suicide prevention and supporting families who find themselves in a situation where they've lost a loved one through suicide.
Yeah, it was definitely my inspiration. It was very delayed, though. My brother took his life about 25 years ago, and it made me wonder all this time, the questions that I posed previously. Could we have prevented it? Could we have seen it? What could we have said? What could have been done? What stigma could have been prevented? Um, I went to the UK in 2015 for the first time, and I saw that mental health and suicide was a mainstream conversation, and I thought, wow, how strange. And that's actually what prompted me to say, like, if my brother had died in this environment by suicide, would it have made it easier? And yes, it was. I came back from the UK and went again in 2020, and things had even evolved more in terms of pathways and training and 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 the mainstream conversation. And I found that I started working in the UK for NPOs where we educated people. So I got my training and all my information and everything from that. And I said, we are far worse off here in South Africa. We're actually in a suicide crisis, and we don't have the pathways that the UK has or other European countries. I think we probably 10 to 15 years behind other countries. And that's what prompted me to bring this concept back to South Africa, because we need it. We need to help each other, and we need to educate each other.
So, CEO of Safe Talk South Africa, how long are you in operation? And from the time you started up Safe Talk South Africa, are you seeing a difference through all of the awareness programs and the workshops that you run? And undoubtedly, there must be other NPOs doing similar work. Are we seeing a difference, or is the situation getting worse? And if you agree that it's getting worse, what would be the reasons for the worsening of this situation? Mental health, depressed people, attempted suicides, successful suicides, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Lino, I'm not sure if you heard my question, and it
I,
looks like you.
I've only been in operation.
Okay, we're having a bit of a problem with connectivity. I'm not hearing you, and your picture is freezing. Let's do this. We're going to take our first ad break and have you try and
I've only been in
reconnect,
operation
please.
for the past year. I've gotten a lot of attention. Like I said, I think we are still quite, in terms of our attitudes, we are still behind.
Lino, we're going to have to take an ad break, and we're going to see if we can reconnect to a more stable line. I'm sorry about this.
Your goals feeling out of reach? Yasin Badat Financial Advisory is here to turn your aspirations into achievements. Our dedicated team, armed with a history of success, is ready to guide you through the complex nature of financial and investment planning. Whether you're a seasoned investor or new to the game, our personalized solutions cater to your unique goals and risk appetite. Trust in our commitment to transparency, integrity, and excellence. Ready to unlock a world of financial freedom? Partner with us today. Call Yasin Badat Financial Advisory at +27 33346 2071 or visit www.yasinbadat.com. Yasin Badat Financial Advisory, guiding you to financial success.
They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many children go to school hungry because of poverty. Penny Appeal South Africa's Breakfast Club aims to get a warm, hearty meal to underprivileged children so they can spend their day prospering in their schoolwork. Help feed a needy learner for only R5 a day or R150 a month. Or visit our website www.pennyappeal.org.za or call 031 1100 573 to find out how you can donate. Penny Appeal South Africa. Small change, big difference. When the perfect blend of stylish decor, exquisite halal cuisine, and warm hospitality come together, it could only mean Albeit Lodge, your true home away from home. Albeit is the ideal heaven for families, business people, and tourists with its 4-star family rooms and other luxurious facilities, conveniently situated close to Port Elizabeth Airport, the beach, and other amenities. Your stay will be truly unforgettable, as you'll be taking home lasting memories of the warm hospitality, the serenity and tranquility that Albeit has to offer. For reservations, call 041 583 6415 or visit www.albeitlodge.co.za.
Abu Huraira narrated that he heard the Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, say, "In black seed there is a healing for every disease except death. Experience the health benefits of this ancient blessed seed by using the tip black seed range. Black seed assists the body to boost immunity, regulate blood sugar levels, reduce inflammation, and act as a potent antioxidant. Experience a holistic approach to health by introducing the tip black seed range into your routine. Available in capsules, pure cold-pressed oil, and a vapor rub. Trust Tib Health Sciences for quality black seed products. For more information, visit blackseed.co.za. Available at leading pharmacies.
Hey Gulam.
Yeah?
Did I return your lawnmower last month?
No, bye, you didn't.
Oh no. Now what'll I do? I wanted to borrow it again, man.
With Randry Jewelers, you won't have to borrow or lend because the prices are so well trimmed on all gold and diamond jewelry. Alternatively, we could remake your old jewelry into a brilliant new design. Visit Randry Jewelers at 151 Stevens Lamini Road, Musgrave, Durban. Randry Jewelers, the family name you can trust.
Rejuvenating media day by day. This is Salam Media.
Welcome back. It's exactly 13 after 11 o'clock. We are talking with Lino Muller. He is the CEO of Safe Talk South Africa, and we are talking about suicide prevention. Lino, sorry, the line was very bad just now. Do you want to continue with your response, please?
Yes, let's do that. So yes, I started Safe Talk about a year ago. I'd had a brilliant response. And unfortunately, it's not the easiest situation to be in. Obviously, we need quite a bit of funding, and government support would be great. But like I said, because we seem to be about 10 or 15 years behind the rest of the world when it comes to such topics, it's not the easiest thing to do, even though it is well needed. But I am confident that we're making headway. Suicide in the country is at a crisis point. We have official figures of about 14,000 suicides per year. That's an official figure. I would say I would put the figure more to about 20 to 25,000 deaths per year, which makes it more than our annual road deaths, which is quite shocking because that's also one of the highest in the world.
Absolutely.
We're probably sitting at about 6th or 7th in the world with the official figures. With the unofficial figures, I'd put us in the top 3 in the world. So yes, we do have a crisis. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of people knowledgeable enough to deal with it. We need our police trained, we need doctors trained, we need nurses trained, we need our paramedics trained, we need our teachers trained, and we need our parents trained. We just need as many people trained as possible, and the demand is there. The funding is not so much there.
Ouch. How does Safe Talk South Africa equip communities, schools, workplaces, and the general public out there to deal with mental health crises before they become tragedies?
So we run workshops, suicide prevention and mental health awareness workshops, where we teach people what the stigmas are, and we teach people how to spot the signs of people who are in distress. And then obviously we when we do teach people to spot the signs, we are then able to give them effective communication skills on how to treat that. And in general, what we try and do is we try to make it a mainstream conversation. So we find that a lot of workplaces and schools have systems in place, like they have counselors and they have psychologists, but we still stigma driven. So we still have the attitude of that we cannot speak about such things. So we try and change the culture around it, and the culture should be one of that we can talk about mental health problems, that we can talk about when we're not feeling okay, we can ask for help when we need to ask for help, that it's not shameful to ask for help or to be vulnerable, and that is the culture that we're trying to create mostly.
So, Lino, what are the early warning signs that kind of would indicate somebody is struggling? And how could friends and family support the person who's struggling and has serious suicide thoughts? I should imagine that if you said the wrong thing and didn't support the person in the way they're expecting to be supported, would it be right to say that, just by you mishandling the situation, you could actually push the person over the edge?
Yes. And at the same time, I still want to say that if there is a suicide death, then it is still, it's not your fault. Even though you may have said the wrong thing, it's because you didn't know. It's a very sensitive topic. So communication around it needs to be quite sensitive. Spotting some of the signs is just obviously changes in behavior. If you notice someone self-harming, maybe they're not looking after themselves in terms of grooming, you need to listen to the things that they're saying. Like if you detect signs of hopelessness or lots of negativity in the stuff that they're saying, maybe giving away possessions, these are all signs. And if we look out for them and we see some of those signs, it's important for us to give that person a place of safety in terms of expressing themselves. So, the best thing you could do is confront the person straight up and say, hey, I've noticed this has been happening. That's been, you've been acting this way and that way. Is everything okay? How can I help you? I'm here if you need me, and I'm not going to judge you for anything you say. So just give them an open and a safe space to speak without, being judgmental. And don't try and solve their problem. Listen without judgment, and that's your first step. If you can get someone to speak to you, I think that's a great step in the right direction. Is just to have someone being heard and making them feel like they matter.
Can you walk us or talk us through a safe talk session with a person who is possibly thinking about suicide? What would it sound like? What should your body language kind of indicate to the person? How close do you sit to him or her? All of those type of indicators.
Yeah, so Safe Talk is not a counseling center as such. We go out into the communities and workplaces and teach people these tools. So a typical workshop would consist of, speaking about what suicide is, what people are going through, what are the risk factors that people are going through, and then obviously the communication, the phrases and things that we should say and shouldn't say. The workshops are typically 3 to 4 hours long. So to to do this on a radio show would sort of be a little bit counterproductive. And I can give you snippets of what's in the course, but not the actual content. As you can imagine, it is delicate, and we do practice role plays, and we talk a lot about people's experiences. And during the workshops, people see that it's a safe place, and they become quite vulnerable, even though we're not a counseling session. But what it proves is that if you are open and we talk about these things, other people talk about these things. I always compare it to a situation as well, where if you are the more training you have, the more likely someone is going to come and speak to you. So for instance, if you know there's a plumber in the room and there's 10 people in a room, you would and you had a leaking tap, you'd be likely to bring up the fact that you had a leaking tap because you know there's a plumber and they're qualified to help you, or they'd be able to help you better. And that goes the same with mental health. If there's people around you that have knowledge and are able to help you, you'd be more likely to speak about it.
For people that are in a situation where they have loved ones with mental health issues and the loved one does or has been threatening suicide from time to time, the family are tired, whatever the dynamics are within that family. Some family members may just dismiss the person by suggesting that he or she is attention seeking. How serious is that situation in terms of what should this family be doing or not be doing or saying to the person? Because in this situation, they could tip the person over the edge, couldn't they? Or is it really up to the person, the victim himself or herself, to decide, well, that's it, I had it, and this is the end of it all?
Yeah. Attention seeking is a term that is also used quite loosely, maybe irresponsibly. Maybe we should change that narrative or that conversation. And instead of saying attention seeking, maybe it's a cry for help. And the fact that someone is seeking attention, shouldn't we be giving them the attention? And that is the question that I pose. Unfortunately, it depends. It's also a financial thing, whereby in South Africa, I think we have one professional for every 100,000 people, as compared to other European and American, Australia, where we have much more facilities, and facilities are much more affordable, obviously, because there's less unemployment. So yes, people that do have someone in their family that has mental health issues and that threatens suicide, I would definitely take it seriously. And we do have helplines like SADC. I would definitely say they should phone SADC and they should get professional help. But to tell them that they're attention seeking is a definite no-no, because yes, they are seeking help. And the fact that they're telling you that is that they need help. And if you are not able to help them, please find someone that is able to help them. But this is why our workshops are so important, because if you as a family member would know what to say and what to do and how to listen effectively, that's already helping a lot.
Let's wrap up now. Looking ahead, what are your hopes for Safe Talk South Africa's impact, and how can the public get involved beyond Suicide Prevention Month?
I want Safe Talk to be the leading suicide prevention NPO in the country. I'm trying to reach as many people as possible. Just a small example, I know we need to wrap up, but in our course, we say, okay, if there is someone suicidal, who do we call? And textbook says we must call the police. But are our police equipped to deal with it? No, they're not. So I'd like to train our police. I would like to train our teachers. I would like to train normal parents. I'd like to train line managers. And the more people can get involved, the better. The more education we have around it, the more we can help ourselves and we can help those people that are in need.
What about people watching us this morning and feel that they'd like to make a difference? So they would like to go on the training that you spoke about earlier on, that
Yes.
your Safe Talk South Africa offers. When and how can they access the training? And once the training has been done, how can they then make a difference? Do you have a call center, or do you have a little, how can they be of help apart from joining up with SADC? Do you offer some sort of facility where they could come in and offer counseling or whatever it is that needs to happen post the training?
Yeah. So at the moment, we're doing the training, which will hopefully help a lot of people. As we grow, we also want to do a counseling hotline or a crisis hotline. Obviously, that comes with the right funding. And once we have that, we'd have more options. But we are always looking for people who would want to volunteer and help us in terms of speaking at schools, presenting our workshop, going out into the communities and spreading awareness. So we're always there doing some sort of talks and some sort of events. And if people would like to get involved in that, it would be great to contact us on our website, which is safetalk.co.za. And the telephone numbers are there. There's email addresses there. And if anyone wants to get in contact, have any help, donate, fund, that would be all very welcome.
Lino Muller, CEO of Safe Talk South Africa, keep up the amazing work. I think that it is admirable that we have an organization like yourself out there trying to prevent tragedies. So God bless and accept all the great work you're doing. Till the next time.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. It is exactly 11:27 a.m. We're moving along. That was, of course, Lino Muller, the CEO of Safe Talk South Africa, talking suicide prevention. And if you feel that you've got the time to spare and you'd like to make a meaningful difference, then perhaps this is one of the organizations you should hook up with to try and save lives. Let's move along then and get ready for our next interview.